Just a song before I go, a lesson to be learned. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned. Good morning, folks. It's the last Sunday of February 2024, and going to continue with the theme of being Hamilton and not Burr. Hamilton and not Burr. The dogs are here, and Ray is in the background, so pretty informal setting here, and just some music and a comment. That's what we do. Grab a cup of coffee. Almost cut my hair. Happened just the other day. Could have said it was getting kind of long. Could have said it wasn't my way. But I didn't, and I wonder why. Feel like letting my freak flag fly. And I feel like I owe it to someone. Guess I had the blues for Christmas. I wasn't feeling up to par. It only increases my paranoia. Like looking in the mirror and seeing a police car. But I'm not giving in an inch to fear. 'Cause I promised myself this year, and I feel like I owe it to someone. When I finally get myself together, gonna get down to some of that sunny southern weather. But I'm not giving in an inch to fear. 'Cause I promised myself this year, and I know I owe it to someone. To someone. Well, you know, that's a pretty good stretch for me, but I told you I was going to not cut my hair this year, so that's kind of a theme for this year. Here's the comment today. Simple thought. At the top of this decision chain, if 10% is good enough for God, why isn't 10% good enough for the federal government? You know, tithing is an interesting concept, and I think that I don't know what other religions do, but I grew up in a Christian household, and in the Christian religion, tithing is a thing, 10% of your income to the church. Most people struggle to do that, but you know, it's appreciated anytime there's a contribution from the audience. Now, my grandfather was a Methodist minister, and at collection time, the history books say, this actually is written into the history of the church, that he would say, don't want to hear any noise. Now, what he meant by that was no change, just folding money. So, interesting concept. But 10% of the total income of the United States is about $3 trillion. The federal budget is $6 trillion. So, interesting thought. If we could average 10% of the income in the United States to the federal government and then cut the programs back to balance the budget, I think we'd just have a better life, because here's the bottom line. I don't know what you pay in income taxes, but if you had 10% of your income to put towards taking care of prosperity and the future, I think you might do a better job than the federal government's doing. Just a thought, 10% for God, 10% to the federal government. And then I do think there's a reason to think about a federal sales tax. Federal sales tax, only purpose of a federal sales tax is to equal it out across the United States. Don't have to drive somewhere else to get no sales tax. And the only role the federal government would have was to filter that money back to the states. Collect the money, filter it back to the states. No admonitions, no rules, just that's money that goes back to the states. So, I'm sure there's sophisticated thoughts on that are more sophisticated than mine. But one of the components of the federal government budget is national defense. Well, key word, defense. And it's actually in the preamble to the Constitution that the common defense is one of the purposes of the federal government. Common defense. Well, defense means different things to different people. Some people say the best defense is a good offense, and I think that might be right. But if we pull back the budget for the military back to the United States and defended our borders, that probably wouldn't be a bad thing. Projecting our common defense around the world is expensive. And I'm not sure we're doing any good, but maybe we are. I know there's deeper thoughts on that. So here's another song. A match to kindling. Sunday morning comes up a fire. A day is born. A cup of coffee, a simple rhyme. Could have been John Prine. Could have been John Prine. Walking down the middle of the street, my feet tap out a certain beat. Life in small town, kind of fine. Could have been John Prine. I'm getting older and I'm feeling fine. Could have been John Prine. Could have been John Prine. Could have been John Prine. Put together a couple of chords, sings. Put together a couple of chords, had some rhythm, there's gotta be more. I'm getting older and I'm feeling fine. Could have been John Prine. 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 Match to kindling Sunday morning. A fire comes up, a day is born. A a cup of coffee and a simple rhyme. Could have been John Prine. 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 So, pardon the little hiccup in the middle there. That's the first time that song's ever been sung. I wrote it yesterday and didn't write it down, so I forgot some of it. So, at any rate, here's another straw on the camel's back. The average senator's budget for his operations of his office is $3 million. I'm not sure we're getting our money's worth. But I understand now why those guys spend all that money to get that job. Because sometimes we think about what their paycheck is. Well, no, their paycheck is X. But $3 million, and the high is $5 million to run a Senate office. Here's a simple thought, and it's probably wrong, but, here's a simple thought. I think 75% of a senator's time should be spent in his district that he represents. That means only 25% of his time could be spent in Washington, D.C. They don't get much done anyway, so why couldn't they just get not much done in less time? So a simple proposal, three-week legislative sessions a year. That's all. We want them to do less anyway, right? So I've done my 3 songs. So I'll do this one more. We got a little bit of time. One of the dogs is going out. I'm sitting here right on this chair. People passing by, they just don't care. Ain't much moss on this rolling stone. Why do I feel so all alone? I love you, I love you. And there's a long, long way to go, but lots of time you ought to know. I want you here right by my side. Then we'll take a magic carpet ride. I love you, I love you. Now when I was a child, I thought that dreams came true. Now I know they can because of you. When I was a child, I thought that dreams came true. Now I know they can because of you. I love you, I love you. And here I am, a one-man band, out here in this one-man land. I'm coming back again, you'll see. I love you, babe, just trust in me. I love you, I love you. So I learned at the lacrosse game yesterday that be the best, which I actually coached with the guy that invented be the best. Be the best does not mean be perfect. Be the best means just be the best you can be in everything that you do. So, that's the struggle. That's what we're trying to do. This broadcast is not perfect, but it's a one-take show, and there's some mistakes in it. Hopefully the flaws lead to the character. Sometimes it's the mistakes that gets you to perfection. Boy, that's philosophical. So, God bless you all real good. My time is up. God bless Susan Taylor, and I'll see you next time.